Why should any of my croakings have an impact? It's 1302. We are today the 7th of February 2009. The title of this document is Why Should Any of My Croakings Have an Impact on Anyone, on any swan of the pond? Why should any of my croakings have any impact on any swan swimming in the pond? Can you tell me? I am a frog. As a frog, I do not own a machine gun. As a frog lost in the fog, I do not own a Panzer division. As a frog lost in the frog, I do not own a Stuka division with bombs in it. I may drop stuff, but all this stuff I'm dropping is just piece of shit in the pond. How should any of these pieces of shit affect the swan swimming in the pond? It seems to me, all is perception, obviously, that when the swan sees the shit that I just made at the bottom of the pond, the swan is afraid and fly away. Why is that? It's certainly not the shit lying down the bottom of the pond who is threatening the swan. Therefore, there must be something in the swan's psyche that generates that kind of insane behavior pattern. And this something is something that the swan, unconsciously speaking, associate with the shit he sees at the bottom of the pond, or the shit he smells at the bottom of the pond, or the shit he just tasted at the bottom of the pond, or the shit he just touched at the bottom of the pond with his webbed feet, or the shit he just smelt at the bottom of the pond. Whatever the font. He smelt with his asshole, and that was enough to trigger him to open his wings and fly away. Why is that? It's not the shit which is doing that to him. It has to be some kind of crazy information that belongs to his history as a swan, and drive this hysteria out of him, or out of it and the heat of it. Does that make any sense, guys? Granny last year tells me that I did all this. I did what? I did, as a normal frog does, drop shit at the bottom of the pond. How does any of the shit I did drop at the bottom of the pond has the ability to kill anyone? How does any of this shit has the ability to kill any swan? This is nonsense, guys. The trouble is not in the shit. The trouble is in the shit that's in the box. The trouble is in the shit that's in your box, which Eckhart Tolle calls the voice in the box, the voice in the head. And he says that the minute I become aware that there is a voice in this head, I'm freed from it. So good luck with it. You are magnificent swans. Bye for now. Takuk. And thanks the ancestors for this series of pictures. It just came from divine inspiration. And once again, I don't know that I'm going to say all of this. I have no idea. It just comes because I make myself available to it and the heat of it. So we can all do that and live happily thereafter. Thank you for the opportunity to express. Bye. The opportunity to express. Bye. Takuk.